welcome to the show. Today is the last day of my meal plan week. I gave you one grocery list for 5 dinners, and today we're gonna try and use up any leftover risotto that you might have hanging around from Thursday's dinner. We're making one of my favorite treats, arancini. I don't know if you've ever had arancini before, but oh baby, it is truly a delight. It's essentially just leftover risotto that you put into a bowl and you fry up and you eat it. And you can stuff it with anything you'd like. It's crispy, it's golden, it's creamy, and it's so, so good. So the first thing I wanna do is get to work on the dredging station for that crispy, delicious coating. So I've got 3/4 of a cup of panko breadcrumbs here. Panko breadcrumbs, really, really crunchy, not a ton of flavor, but I really want them to stick onto this delicious arancini. So I'm gonna pop it into a food processor, and I wanna pulse it just a few times just to give it a little bit of a finer texture. To be honest, a lot of times you could use like classic breadcrumbs, Italian breadcrumbs, but I find them a little dusty and they're not crunchy enough. I like the outside of my arancini to have like the texture of a potato chip, and then the inside to be creamy and cheesy and delish. So I'm just gonna pulse that just a few times. That's looking great. You do not 100% have to do this. You can have it as like bigger chunks, that'll be fine too. But again, more crunch, always a good thing. So I'm just gonna transfer this on into a shallow pie plate or dish. This is where we're gonna make a little bit of a breading station. So that panko is gonna be that final little crispy layer. But for the other layers, I have got a little bit of flour. The flour is for the first layer, and we've got a 1/4 cup of that, just again, into another pie dish. I'm gonna season that up with a little bit of salt and pepper, just to get some seasoning going in there. If you wanted to, in this kind of layer, you could throw in any sort of dry spices. If you had some Italian seasoning, pop that in there, some oregano, whatever you'd like. Give that a mix up. Essentially what that's gonna do is that's gonna go on the outside of the risotto and let everything else kind of stick on. So to glue everything together, I need 1 egg, again, in another shallow dish or pie plate. I'm gonna beat that up just with a fork. And here, if you wanted to, if you had some, like a little jar of pesto hanging out in your fridge, pop some in this egg, even more flavor. This is, oops, I made a mess. That's okay, don't worry about it. We're deep frying, it's fine. All right, so that's the least of our worries right now. All right, now if you wanted to, I love to deep fry these, but you could even do these in an air fryer. I'm not gonna lie, it would work out beautifully. So we have got all of our dredging breading station ready to go, and here we have our leftover risotto. For this recipe, you want about 1.5 cups of leftover risotto. Remember, we made this on Wednesday. This is super nice risotto. It's got a little bit of pecorino in there. We've got some peas, and we've also got a bit of prosciutto. So I'm just gonna transfer this risotto on into a bowl. Ugh, there you go, get it in there. And risotto is really nice. It's made with arborio rice, so it's really thick and creamy and delicious. Now I'm just gonna pop in, again, flavors. If you have anything hanging out in the fridge, if you've got some spinach from last night or a couple days ago, feel free to pop that in here. We've got a little bit of prosciutto here from that night, really nice. A little bit of porky goodness, always a good thing. Pop that in. Give that a bit of a mix together just to get that prosciutto kind of combined. Totally optional, but feel free to pop it in. Now, to form these little arancini, you wanna pick up a little bit of that rice mixture, and I've got a little dish of some just regular tap water here. Make your hands a little moist, and essentially that's gonna stop that risotto from sticking to your hands. Flatten that out into like a little circle, and then I've got classic, stretchy, melty mozzarella. If you wanted to go fancy, you could do this with like fresh mozzarella, but honestly, it doesn't stretch as good. Just that brick-style mozzarella, pop it on the inside, fold all of that risotto up and over, and there you have a beautiful little ball of something delicious that's gonna get fried. Essentially, you would keep doing that with all that risotto, all that cheese until it's all used up. Then you take this little guy, pop it in that flour mixture, give it a roll around. Anytime you're doing a breading station on like every cooking show, it's like, try to keep one hand wet and one hand dry. I never do. I end up just breading my hands. Not the worst thing in the world. All right, so just toss that around, get any of that excess flour off, pop that into the egg, give that a bit of a roll around just to coat. And that flour is kind of helping that egg stick onto that risotto. And then pop that right on into this panko. Pop that, this is where we turn into breaded hands. All right. Now I wanna pop that onto a plate. And essentially what I like to do now, this isn't 100% necessary, but it does help everything hold together. I pop those into the fridge for just a few minutes just to firm up. So I've got some here that look perfect. They're done already. And now we get to do my favorite cooking method, and that is frying. Because it's Friday. I feel like that's what it's made for. You must fry on at least one Friday in your life. So now I've got a little kind of spider here. That's what this tool is called. You can just use a regular spoon, a slotted spoon, but essentially all you wanna do is lower these little babies into this oil, and you're looking for the oil to be about 350 degrees Fahrenheit. A good way to test that is to look at the surface, see if it's shining, or you can get a little bit of panko or even just a cube of bread, pop it in there, see if it browns in about 10 seconds. If it goes way quicker than that, your oil's too hot, turn it down. If it takes longer, it can actually make the arancini really kind of heavy and fatty. So I'm just popping these babies in, and you wanna just fry those for about 4 to 5 minutes or until they are golden brown. Essentially, everything in there is already cooked. You're just looking to heat everything up, get golden brown color, and get that inside little cheese surprise to melt. So, luckily again, I got some keep them warm in my oven right now, because I get very impatient when I'm frying. Oh my gosh, we've got these little, look at these golden brown little arancini, like out of control. To serve these babies, this is something I love to do as an appetizer. To be honest, this is also what I like to call like couch dinner, where you just make it up, put them out on a platter, and you're good to go. To serve those, I like to just use some store-bought tomato sauce on the side, or if you wanna get a little fancy, just pour it down a line, right down your plate, add a little bit of a smush out, pop those little arancini right along in a little line, because this way you get to like do a little swiperoo every time you eat it. Some basil right on top. And if you wanted, extra cheese never hurt anybody, but I can't wait. I'm gonna dig into one of these babies. Let's see if we got that cheese ooze. Let's see, I'm gonna pull this up. You ready for a cheese pull? Let's see if it happens. Look at that, cheesy. Oh my gosh. You know that's gonna be good. Let's give it a go. Good thing I didn't put any prosciutto in this one, because I would not have been able to withstand that. Oh my gosh, that is so good. A little bit of extra salt on there, out of control. Well, my friends, that is a wrap on Meal Plan Week. Oh my gosh. I got hot cheese in my mouth. Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.